Idiots are invincible. The foolproof row method to handle them, solve problems, and enjoy the process. By Dr. Angelos Rodafinos. Chapter 3. Practical Problem Solving. He who cannot change the very fabric of his thought will never be able to change reality. Anwar Sadat. In this chapter, we will demonstrate how to resolve problems using the row method. For this purpose, we will look at the two, and only, available options when dealing with any challenge and examine one scenario for each. Ready? Splendid. Please take a minute to think of a problem that is bothering you and answer the following simple question. Is there something you can do about it? As mentioned, there are only two possible answers to this question, yes or no. If the answer is positive, review the first scenario below. If the answer is no, move on and read scenario B. For training purposes, read both. Scenario A, I can do something about the problem. When the conditions are amenable to change, the issue is important enough, and we are willing to devote energy and time, our two most valuable resources, to resolve it, then we better deal with it. Time to engage in problem solving, which is a healthy or adaptive coping strategy. Basic problem solving steps include 1. Definition of problem. 2. Assessment of its importance and evaluation of its priority compared to other issues. 3. Listing of alternative plans. Here, we may need to seek the advice of experts, or read related material to learn more about the issue. 4. Ranking of solutions and selection of the best. 5. Implementation. 6. Outcome evaluation and feedback. This 6-step process produces one of two possible outcomes. A. Problem solved or B. Problem not solved. In the first case all is well. Time to find something else to worry about. Next, we will examine the second case, i.e., problem not solved. We will discuss ways to modify our appraisal of a situation that we cannot change and ways to manage the way we feel because of it. Exercise. Think of a problem that you cannot resolve at this stage of your life. Can you change the way you see it? How do you feel about it now? Scenario B, nothing I can do right now. Assume you have exhausted all options and tried everything you could to change the situation. Or, that you have decided that the issue is not worth investing more effort, time, and energy. In both cases, you need to move on. To put things in the right perspective, ask yourself, how important is the issue for the rest of my life? If it is very important, then it was worth the effort, and at least you did everything you could. Now consider the following. Am I willing to invest more effort and more time? Or should I focus on something else, equally as or more important, or at least something over which I have more control? The following metaphor can serve as a guide for future similar decisions. Our most valuable resources. We all start our lives with a given amount of energy and time at our disposal, said Han Silye. Each time we deal with a problem or a stressful situation, we withdraw a certain amount of time and energy from our account, to adapt to its demands. Individuals who easily resort to their savings may become bankrupt, physically and emotionally, much sooner than those who respond with caution and without exaggerations. I know, you may not like it or you may feel bad about the outcome and the fact that the situation remains unchanged despite your efforts. Time to deal with your emotions, to change how you feel about the whole event. For this purpose, you can resort to cognitive psychology techniques. According to Epictetus, men are disturbed not by the things that happen, but by their opinions of the things that happen. What we think is happening is not necessarily what is happening. There is no stress in any situation, unless we think there is. Things become as important as we allow them. Although you may not be able to control the event, you can control your emotions as well as their intensity, frequency, and duration. Circumstances and situations do color your life, but you have been given the mind to choose what the color shall be. R. Holden. Exercises. 1. Think of a problem that you cannot resolve at this stage of your life. Can you change the way you see it? How do you feel about it now? 2. Have you been choosing your fights wisely? Because you may well win a few battles but end up losing the war. At the end of the day, spend 15 minutes to review which fights were worthwhile. Also review whether the number of resources you allocated to each was appropriate. Pop quiz. What are the 2 factors that affect how we feel? List a few methods that you can use any given time to change your emotions. In the next chapter you will be given a free row method template and use it to practice the theory above. You will solve a problem of your choice, preferably an important one or one you have been postponing for a long time. I recommended you watch 90:10 The Single Most Important Thing You Can Do for Your Stress.